I just had a couple of last things that I wanted to say for now, I guess. In one of the prior videos, I offered to Life in Higher Dimensions to publicly do my life's review in this physical dimension. And they did not take me up on that because that would be exposing many people to information that they are not prepared to be exposed to yet. But something did happen that I could just bring you and tell you about this experience in light of that. I popped out of this dimension and went into another dimension, traveled to another dimension consciously. And in that dimension there were three angels. There was one standing right in front of me, and one to my left and one to my right. And the one that was standing right in front of me sprouted wings and flew and took off, and actually was an angel that had wings. And the other two angels, to my left and right, I knew from this physical dimension. I've met them before and interacted with them here in this physical dimension. And basically what happened is that we were all sitting there in a line and with a TV screen in front of each one of us, and the screen had 8 of our lives on it, so you could review any one of the 8 lives that you wanted to that were on the screen, and then you could scroll through and review as many lives as I believe as many as you wanted. And the angels explained to me that everybody has this. So if anyone was doubting that life is a test, there's no need to doubt it. Life is a test, and basically you are going to do a life review at the end of this life. And then there's other places where you can go where you can look at all your lives. So that was something that important that I wanted to share. And that was just important to share, important for people to know. And you could also see the patterns of karma when you look at a very broad perspective like that. You're able to see patterns of karma. Something else I'd like to share. This experience. I actually bilocated, and I was in the physical in another dimension. And in that, what happened there was that someone I believe from the shadow government was attempting to access the Q-SETI system and the satellites that spin around the sun in the orbit of Pluto, the system that I created. And they were using my consciousness as a vessel to access this system. And what happened was, I was in a hypnotic state and sitting at a table, and we successfully made the connection and linked to the system. And as soon as that happened, an extraterrestrial entity assumed control of my body and severed the connection to the Q-SETI system and excused me from the room. And it wasn't like, and I did not get pushed out of my body. I was still in my body. It was just like if you're driving a car and you're in the driver's seat driving along, and then you blink your eyes and all of a sudden you're in the back seat with someone else driving, but you're still in the car aware of it. That was pretty much happened. That's and so that was important to share too. Another thing that circumstances surrounding that instance was that something that's important to look at is that in different dimensions there's different levels of consciousness. Now in this dimension I would never have consented to that happening, but for some reason in the other dimension I allowed it, and the level of security around the Q-SETI system, around that system, is so high that if you tap into it and there's any sort of negative intentions behind it, you will not be able to access that system. And And it also goes to show the level of security and the immense amount of intelligence that we're dealing with here. I mean, that's a, you know, to actually have the ability to determine that someone has accessed the system, assume control of the body, and then make me aware of it in this dimension, that is a very powerful, intelligent force that is being dealt with here. So that's just important for me to touch on. I travel to so many different dimensions. Sometimes I have to take stock and just look around and say, okay, what dimension is this? Because I know I exist in other dimensions, and I'm doing similar things, but the circumstances in other dimensions are different. And one of the things, like with extraterrestrial disclosure, for example, like there's other dimensions where extraterrestrial disclosure has already been done, and everyone already knows about it, and then there's other dimensions and parallel universes that are even a lower consciousness than this. So disclosure is being done specific to that particular dimension, the levels of consciousness within that dimension. So in certain ways I'm generalizing this information to serve everyone, and then in other ways I'm trying to make it specific to this dimension here. So, in order to access the Q-SETI system, there's two main things to do, two main requirements, and that is you have to be able and willing to communicate clearly, directly, and honestly, and with positive intentions. And the second thing is to demonstrate an understanding of the importance of respecting one's privacy in the third, fourth, and fifth dimension. Due to the fact that this system is created, I created it so that to help bring balance back to life and to the exchange of energy, specifically on this planet, but everywhere. Those are the two things that you would have two requirements in order to access the systems with pure consciousness. And then it can also be accessed with technology, but I haven't had the means to put the technology together in this dimension yet. Down at lower levels of existence, these levels of existence were designed so an individual conscious entity could experience the illusion of being separate. And when privacy is violated and invaded, that illusion, it distorts that illusion of privacy to the point